Hi, welcome to Infinite Creations, episode 11. My name is Lakshmi. I'm also known as Knitter by Nature on Ravelry and Instagram. Today is October 11th, 2017. It is actually my birthday today, and I'm kind of excited because, in a sense, I gave myself a birthday present by knitting this shawl and blocking it yesterday. I was able to wear it today, and I even found the perfect top to wear with it. Matchy matchy. And so I knit this shawl with a friend of mine, Justine. She had picked out the pattern, and we both picked out the same yarn in different colorways. We picked out Shalimar Yarn's Breathless, which is the merino cashmere silk blend in fingering weight. Oh, and it's so luscious. I can't stop petting this shawl. So mine is knit out of the colors Vintage Brass and Citrine. When I saw this on the website together, I just loved it. I fell in love with these two colors together. And you can see like this green citrine color here, like really you can see pops of it in the Vintage Brass colorway. And it really makes it stand out, and it, you know, a little bit of pop of color. It's very fun. Justine went with a bluish purple, Dock of the Bay or something like that was the name of it. So I think she's still working on hers, or she's about ready to block it. She should be finishing up pretty soon here. We did run into a few issues. So when I started this shawl, the beginning was kind of fiddly, but I did okay with it. And then I got to about this far, and I was reading the directions, how you want your yarn overs on the edge to be symmetrical. And there's specific instructions on how to do your yarn overs on the edge. You know, it's like a yarn over after a knit before a purl, things like that. And I noticed that on this edge, the yarn overs were much bigger than on this edge. And you can notice that yourself right there. And so I actually started over, and I started over and failed like 4 times, and I was like, I'm just gonna reattach the yarn and keep working on this, and who really cares about the edges? It's not a big deal. So I continued to work on it. Everything went pretty smoothly. I was keeping track of my counts until I got to, you know, the shaping part where it makes this cool ripply effect. I think I got past the first one, and I started to do the second one, and I noticed something was off, and I had to rip out probably 2 inches because the ripples were not lining up. I was not happy with it. So I just took the shawl off the needles. I didn't have a lifeline or anything, but what I did was I ripped back to the very last row that I was going to pick up into, and then I picked up into those stitches one at a time very carefully as I ripped the yarn out, 1 stitch at a time. What's funny is Justine had a similar issue, and I helped her rip hers back. I think she had to rip maybe ½ an inch out, or an inch. So I helped her rip that out, put it back on the needles. It probably took like an hour to do that. But it's well worth the effort to get the finished result in the end that you're looking for. And boy, did it come out gorgeous. I am so pleased with it. I couldn't be happier. So the needles that I use for this are a size 6, and I wanted to treat myself with a new needle. So I ordered a Knitter's Pride Royale needle, wood with nickel-plated tips and a cord that swivels. Now, I would not recommend these needles for fingering weight yarn because the stitches would get caught up on the join where the cord swivels. I thought it would be a cool feature to have a swiveling cord, but no, it gets the stitches get caught up, and I constantly had to use my thumb to like push the stitches across on this, and I don't know why I didn't change into different needles, because I was really frustrated using these. Another thing that I was frustrated was like using little like jump ring type stitch markers, you know, like the gold ones you can get from Knit Picks. They always get caught on the yarn. Yeah, and I have to always pull them out. What I have been doing lately is making my own progress keepers. I found some charms at Joann's, and I just got some charms, and I got some lobster claws clasps, and like this came in a little packet. You can see like all these little bugs, beetles. That one. I think like I have a bumblebee here. I have like a ladybug on one of my projects, and another beetle. So, but these ones still need their little lobster clasps. I do have the other ones on projects over here. So, have I told you everything about this project? It's designed by, again, Karina Spencer, the Whippoorwill shawl. And what else can I say about it? I love it, and you can wear it like this as well. Ah, it's really huge like that. I like it over my shoulders. So this has been my main project for a little while now, because I've tried to be a little bit more monogamous with my knitting projects so that I actually get stuff done. But I will show you the reason I picked out this yarn. Because I came across it at a local yarn shop that's no longer in business, sadly, in this colorway, the Bee's Knees. Oh, and I thought it was just beautiful. It was knitting up really pretty in this pattern I chose. This is Artesian, I want to say. I forgot the designer. I will probably post it somewhere on the screen. And then like, so I was really enjoying this. Then I noticed some mistakes, and I was like, oh, should I rip back? Should I just go on? And it's like, you can notice them, but am I really that concerned about it? Does it have to be perfect? I don't know that. I haven't gone back to this in a little while, so that tells you something. What I have been working on lately is socks. The other day I was like a sock knitting ninja, and I knit from morning until evening this much sock. I just kept going and going and going and then I did a heel, and then I went to try it on, and it did not go over my foot. I used different needles that I'm used to using. They were from China, and I think I misread the size, because these are definitely not 2s now that I look at them. And these are definitely not fitting my feet, so I'm gonna have to rip this out. This is Felici by Knit Picks, and it's, what color was this? Limeade was the color. I'm all like green today. Can't believe it. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to rip this out, and you know, I'll use the yarn again. My plan was to knit 7 inches, do contrasting heel, do 7 inches for the foot, do a contrasting toe, and it would be, you know, a really cute sock. So that was a fail. And then I started another sock that's in my other bag. But then like yesterday I was all like, oh, I'm gonna design a sock. So I was like, ooh, what about cables? And so I took this yarn, got this yarn out, and caked it up. It is Blue Moon Fiber Art Socks That Rock, lightweight in the Cindy Lou Who color. And so I started designing the sock with cables for the cuff. And I cast on 64 stitches for size 2 needles. I know, look at those needles. I'm like, I need to get more needles. Mine are all bent, but I don't care. So yeah, working on this design, and then I go to try it on to see how far up the ankle it goes. And it doesn't go over my foot because of course the cables really, let me get it like so that the yarn's not all in the way and you can see it. The cables really make it pull in a lot. I love this color though. Like, and I don't mind ripping it out and starting over with new pairs of socks. It's just like more time to knit with the yarn, right? That's what I was saying to myself when I had to rip out my shawl. It's just like, why should I be upset that I'm like ripping it out? It's just more time with the project, right? So trying to be positive in that sense. So that was a knitting fail, but I am working on another pair of socks out of this color of Felici. That's actually working out. It's like socks on a plane. With the cable that goes down the side, but I'm doing it top down with a fish lips kiss heel in an ankle length sock. So this is the color Toucan Felici. And as soon as I realized that Knit Picks was no longer selling Felici is when I had to like knit all the Felici that I had. So what else do I have here to show off? Oh, I was like all thinking about like, what am I going to do for a Rhinebeck sweater? Because the one I was working on it's kind of tangled up right now and all the skein, so I didn't get it out. But I was working on the Prairie Fire pullover by Tin Can Knits and Madeline Tosh DK in it's a green colorway. I forget the name of the color, but right now, so it's all lacy, and I didn't think I was going to complete that in time. And then I found a sweater that I had been working on for my son. And I was like, I actually put it on waste yarn and tried it on. And I was like, it fits me. I can wear this to Rhinebeck. But look, you can see I haven't made any progress because I was like, if I'm not like comfortable, if I'm not into knitting a sweater right now, I'm not going to be knitting a sweater. If I'm interested in knitting shawls, that's what I'm going to knit. If that means I have to wear shawls to Rhinebeck, that's what I'll do. But definitely going to finish this sweater though, because I think it's super cute. It's the Flax sweater by Tin Can Knits. It's got the little garter ridge detail going down the sleeve. And it's raglan shaping for the sleeves. It's a free pattern. You know, their simple collection. And I'm using these, let me just take this off. It's getting warm in here. I'm using the Marbles needles by, I think they're by Knitter's Pride. I really love these needles. They are, I think, acrylic, but they're smooth. They're like warm in your hands. They're really pretty. I was actually knitting a pumpkin with the other ones. Oh, here's the double points. So sometimes it can be a little hard to see your stitches if you're like using orange needles and knitting orange yarn, but that's what I'm doing there. I don't know if like, yeah, I'll finish that up soon. And then I was playing around with this Knit Picks Chroma twist. I don't know what it's called, but it's the new one that's more like, it looks kind of like hand spun, how it has like the barbel pulling. And I started the Marley blanket by Tin Can Knits. Lots of Tin Can Knits going on. But I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not because, like, I'm not sure if the lace is going to be able to block out so that it stays straight, or if that's always going to be an issue of that curving in like that. So I'm not sure if I like it as like a lacy blanket. Like I did it in a lightweight instead of bulky. Directions call for bulky, so I'm not sure it's gonna work out. So I might make socks with it. Could happen. And what else is going on here? Not much else is going on with that stuff. Okay, and so I'll show you a blanket I've been working on, and I actually completed it quite a while ago. But I have to finish up the edge because I think I'm going to do one more row of white. But I got a few balls of Bernat Pop. This is like the planetarium colorway or something. And I got like 4 balls of these, but 2 balls was enough to make this size blanket. And then I probably put like a row of white around the edge, or 2, just to like make it a little bit bigger and to make it pop more. The blanket I was working on for my son's bed is actually on our love seat right now. And I keep it here because like I can just pick it up and start working on it. The yarn's right there, it's still attached. So being right here, I haven't really worked on it that way, but it's an idea. And I also have been knitting little baby things because my sister, my youngest sister, is going to have a baby in December. So I think I started this. I don't even know what the pattern this is. Boy, I have to figure this out. But look at this with a little collar. Yeah, so I'll have to figure out the pattern name and everything. But this is Cascade 220 Superwash, and I got these, like, I have these baby colors because I was gonna knit some baby stuff for a kid's store. So I already had like baby blue and cream and pink in my stash, so that's what I'm working with. And then I'm knitting a little jumper, a little like onesie, and I think that's all I have to show you today. I will post like pictures of the blocking process and a little video that shows you the blocking. And if I see you at Rhinebeck, please come say hello. I will be at the podcaster meetup because I want to see all the podcasters myself. And that's at 1 o'clock on the hill at Rhinebeck on Saturday, the 21st of October. So have a great day, and I hope to interact with you guys again soon. Bye. Here is the Whippoorwill shawl blocking. This design is by Karina Spencer. I used Shalimar Yarns Breathless, which is a merino cashmere silk blend. And it was a great find to get these anti-fatigue mats at Ocean State Job Lot because it made a really big area I could block on. Use 6 squares. They come in 4 packs for like $9, so worked out good. And so I put blocking wires in the top with pins to make it like a curved edge at the top. And then I tried to pin out the points, but they didn't pin out very pointy. But I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm about ready to take it off the blocking mats and weave in the ends.